This isn't a bunker. Okay. Stepping into Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. Looks like you've lived such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Harland. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Oh, I forgot words there for a second. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been taking with. Trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I nailed it yet, but I'm close. It's potato wedges. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. Is this foreplay? Is that a doorbell? Break glass in case of emergency. It's meant to pair with something spicy or crispy. Both, perhaps? Like zinger wings? Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you? Well, he told me his stupid secret ingredient, that's chicken, so you decide that you're ready, as you'll ever be, to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive head in first. That's not what that sentence said. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. Why is there ice in your lunch bag? I present to you my original coleslaw. It's the worst foreplay. That's not what coleslaw looks like. Is it? Why do you cube the carrots? A shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' Lux hideaway. Oh, he gasped. Magnificent. Together you chow down. Really? It's a side dish. Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until it's just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Please don't let it like mold in your fridge. Sure, why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. If you come back naked, except for an apron, then I know I have one, but I'll also be concerned. Where are we? How far are we from campus? Realize that now would be a perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Ah, they sparkle. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. Should we start at a point and make our way around? This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. Oh, it's a safe. It's not a doorbell. For a moment you think what number is important to Colonel Sanders, then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? No. No, it cannot. Absolutely not. Take a closer look at the urn sitting on the pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Did you burn? Poor guy. He's an arsonist. Adorable little baby boy curls on the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure this must be Colonel Sanders himself. This was the first clone. One of them who didn't make it. That or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Don't give babies bones. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? My grandparents. Probably the same type of person who make their own face the logo of the company they founded, am I right? You don't get to mock yourself, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I feel like that progresses the story, so I want to keep looking at things. But first I want to see this candle, which is... that's his bow tie. Send a candle, you pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched color? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of 69? No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's gravy. It looks like a gravy scented candle. It's a chicken. It's a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on the corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it's just realistic. It's real. Taxidermy? Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. Little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." Wait, what's this? Lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Upon further inspection, you realize the hair there isn't just silver in color. It's actually made of spun silver. Let's look at the pictures. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. See, clones. Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices. It's the ashes of a pharaoh, because he burns things apparently. One of the frame photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks. No, they don't. And appear to be choosing them. That's not what's in this photo at all. General Potato. You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. The glass? You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Ah! Just then the ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the ghost of student is swept out with the breeze. Alright, well I can't go up to his room, so... You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. Take one off its hanger and try it on. You really should not do that. That's rude. Jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? No. They did not mean stealing someone's clothes. Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. Ah, crap, the jacket. You forgot to take it off. Fess up and tell the truth? Telling me you're cold? Make a big move? Nah, he's holding food, and that's a white jacket. Honesty is the best policy. You confess. Oh, secreted hearts, thank goodness. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feels for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself, dramatically. Colonel? Yes, General Potato. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence! Oh no. This again? Cool, my reoccurring nightmare. That is quite nice, but these big windows freak me out. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. I don't know. I don't know. He made hearts. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. It's the last day of your 3-day semester. Think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. Gravy? Was that the candle gravy? Or was there a new one that you guys were talking about at night that was like fryer oil? In some jurisdictions, gravy isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? It has some implications. Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast. Your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. I'm not a model. The camera just turned on by itself. It's meticulous. Is it? It's like a biscuit cut in half and a single piece of chicken. That's what you have for breakfast every day, my dude? You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous! Magazine in your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Yes. Yeah, I figured. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. That was flattery? Potato. Girl. That's not how you flatter. Whatever. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Can I be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. I just barely spent the night. I only know you 2 days. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. Yeah, you're not a good business partner if you run away from decisions. Still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. Not even to say their name. BTS give me strength. Wait, you're not BTS, you're missing one, aren't you? 127. I forgot. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Oh, sorry, Miriam, I was just on a date. Slept over at a strange man's house. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got so worried that something bad happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but... You will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him, you better keep your tails turned to polite and respectful, I'm not that kind of girl. Does she end up dating Pop if you put them together? But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did you say skydiving? As if it's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And I'm not really sure where we stand. You know, don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however, bottling up the details of your own nights is just too much to bear. Wow, I'm such a bad friend. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection... Wowzers. Miriam tells you to move on from this Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school. Oh. If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right. I would prefer to be right. After a short argument, you both agreed to go your separate ways. Wow. Ugh. You arrive at school and encounter your rivals on the quad. You guys really have nothing better to do. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's so swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Hehe, Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dip too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You a horse girl? You got some nerve, General Potatoes, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. Clench your fists, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain, because you did not go to the hospital. It doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? General Potato has a hand feeling. I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. I did break a nail playing this game. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What's he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate warm gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. So in other words to say it was bland. Excuse me, General Potato. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel? I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, General Potato. How dare you? I spent the night. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. Go to the hospital. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. You just can't make a good decision, can you? Whoa. That's that book? Looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. You saw a flying spork monster and there's a talking dog. Seriously? A grimoire like a book of spells? I don't know who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful. The book decorated itself. Can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. Could use the spell here and see... I could use a spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all my memories. If I scrap out Colonel Sanders, it could probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. Yes, Miriam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger. I could find it as drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Are we friends again? You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. I think I was doing well. Don't cast a spell. Take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice and makes a quick announcement. I want you all to know, I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose crunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses on the window, and the room is deadly silent. Is there a squirrel? When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on a cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you never to come back here, Terrence! I'll destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking furiously, ferociously, drool flying off of his face. Squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Named him Terrence. You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, General Potato, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, but before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills all over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by words and sparks coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but still haven't learned how to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off to your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan. J&J forever. You watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Bzz, bzz. Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down a mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder, steams pouring out the gaps in his panel, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Oh, you killed him. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, I'm not entirely sure where it's come from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay? Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. We mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. Still working on the title, but I think you'll get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. Before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone? Your tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. Oh, he's a pressure cooker. That's pretty serious business. Those things can explode, can't they? I did not make my coffee strong enough. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up despite the stupid thing I just said. Imagine the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates. Hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, this whole year, so what? You're a special person. You shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet Professor Dog is going to love it up. While you're pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch. That's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. Occasion of your final challenge. Test of will, test of courage, a test of talent, but not of anything you've learned in the last 3 days, because it was nothing. Chance to beat the pants off of Van Van, the supposed man-man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on. General Potato's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, oh dear, Stop making a mess in my kitchen. Your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. General Potato, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just, taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. Popeye has begun to bake and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you the cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you. Well, I'm not gonna burn my pot pie for a man. Secreting arts all over the place. Stop making a mess in my kitchen. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I don't know. My nose can smell pot pie from 400 yards. That is very specific. I don't know how much a yard is, but it sounds like a lot. Thank you. It's an oddly specific distance, but you expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. That's fair. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell. Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all butter crust. All butter crust. There's nothing else in there but butter? And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? Ah no, I can smell that it was made with a big ol' helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. Moment of truth. Wow. That's a pie, alright? I don't like peas. Those potatoes. It's the best pot pie I ever tasted. Always loved country cooking and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules! That is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up to the cook-off of a lifetime. Alrighty. Let's fix my posture for this. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Imagine winning MasterChef with mac and cheese. That's the hero the people need. Whoa! Is that a cleaver? With a chain and a heart? Damn, girl. Aesthetic. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. I mean, it makes them happy. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve something perfect. His original recipe fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend Blaster Blaster? I don't know. Whatever. Van fixes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. That's rock and roid. That's not. No. Don't roid. Ashley scoops her pastries, almost read that wrong, off the tray with lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula. That's mean. Even Clanks gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Ah, words. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's the singularity, as was foretold. It's not the singularity. We mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena.